Today we're going to be reviewing this. This is the Kinu M47 Classic hand grinder. This grinder is specifically designed for espresso but can be capable of the pour over range as well. However, I am only going to focus this review on how the Kinu works for espresso. I don't typically do a lot of drip coffee, so I don't feel like I'm adequate enough in using this grinder for drip coffee to really give a full review of that. From what I've heard, it still does well though. Before we dive into this, I ask you that you do please subscribe and click the like button. Subscribers and likes help me continue to produce videos and grow in content. If you're looking at purchasing any coffee gear, please use the links below for all your coffee gear, and all the stuff in this video will be related there as well. This really helps me continue with videos as well. One of the things that if you use one of the links below, I will make a slight commission at no extra charge for you. This helps me continue to do reviews on things like this. A lot of people ask me specific questions about gear, and I don't have the money to go out and buy every single hand grinder out there. But by you using my affiliate links, it allows me to have some more income where I can buy grinders for reviews and helping people out with what they need. I also have a Patreon account, which you can find more about at the link below as well. So let's go ahead and dive in. The Kinu M47 Classic grinder is about the most expensive hand grinder you can get. And by hand grinder, I mean specifically one that you hold in your hand. There is the HG1 by Lynn Weber that is almost $1,000, but this is about the most premium one you can get, and it is nice. It has great construction, it's built well, and it has a lot of features. So we're just going to go ahead and start with some of my favorite features. Is right here is the grind adjustment. So you simply just unscrew this top piece right here, and you can just dial it in, and you can just keep going around and around as much as you need to. And it has these slight little clicks, like they're almost like false clicks, but they're like just a little bit of like vibrated feedback, which is really, really nice. And then you just simply lock it in and you grind. One of the things that doesn't come with the grinder that I think should be stock for a grinder this expensive is these little grips. These little grips are about $10, and it comes in a 2-pack, which I could not figure out if it came in a 2-pack or 1-pack, but I'm glad when I received it, it was 2. And I'm going to get into that a little bit in a moment of why I think they should include that. One of the nice features about this is on the bottom, this catch tray has a little silicone grip. And I like that because it doesn't scratch your counters, it doesn't move when it's on the counter, and it's just a lot nicer of a feature that I wish would be in a lot of other premium hand grinders. I have another hand grinder called the Air Grind, and that doesn't have that, and I really like that feature, and I've never seen anybody highlight that in a review. And another thing is it has this thumb stop right here. This thumb stop helps you continue to grind as you go this way. However, there is one huge flaw in that piece right there. That piece only works for right-handed people. By right-handed people, I mean you'd hold the grinder with your left hand and typically move your right hand to go through. I'm left-handed, so I grind like this. And when there's tension and when there's beans in here, what happens is the base of it slides the opposite way, meaning I have to push my index finger toward that. It works really well as a thumb stop. Some people also just wrap their finger around it, and that helps it too if you get it like right there in the knuckle of your finger. However, I felt like to really utilize this grinder and really enjoy this, I needed to get the grips because I'm left-handed. And that is a huge flaw, but it's also like there's nothing they could really do about it. You can't put this anywhere else or put it anywhere else for left-handed people. You'd have to reverse the entire rotation, and you basically have to go the opposite way. So there was nothing they could really do about it. And the other feature that they have here is this is super easy to change the burrs, and that's important because the burrs can be bought in a espresso burr or a pour over burr. So you simply just unscrew this top part right here, Sorry if there's a little grounds that come out. I didn't clean this grinder before this review. That handle slides out, so this handle is fixed in place by a simple screw, so it will not be sitting on the counter or falling off on you. And then you take that piece, and you got to make sure you put this all in the right order. And the nice thing about this is as soon as you take this stuff off, it comes out the exact same, or it goes back in the exact same way. This screws off, as I just tried to simply just keep putting my hand and pulling. It's not going to come off if you pull it. And out come the burrs. You might need to wiggle it just a tad to get them out. And you got a spring, and the burrs come straight out like that. These burrs, I can't remember the exact size, but these burrs are typically just a little bit bigger than a standard hand grinder. In my other hand grinder, it takes me about a minute to grind a shot of espresso in 18 grams. With this hand grinder, I can get it down to 35 seconds. And it's an enjoyable 35 seconds. With the other one, I was just booking it the entire time. But this one really, really does a good job and does it quickly in a short amount of time without feeling like a lot of effort. This grinder is pretty big, so if you have small hands, it might not be the greatest for you, but it is slimmer here at the top. So I haven't found an issue, and I have found it quite enjoyable to use. Another feature I want to highlight is the magnetic cup tray. This is the only grinder to my knowledge that has, so one of the things you need to do is you need to put this back together correctly. And you got to put the spring on there, otherwise that would be bad. Anyway, there is also a magnetic cup tray, which is the only grinder to my knowledge that has a magnetic catch tray. If there's another one, put it in the comments. There's 11 magnets throughout the catch tray, which I'm going to show you here in just a minute as soon as I put this back together. And all of this goes together in one particular way. So if you don't do it the right way, I haven't taken this grinder apart very often. You could probably tell that from this video, but I still wanted just to show you the burrs just because I thought that was an important part. And the more you do that, the easier it's going to get, like anything. There we go. So there is a magnetic cup tray with 11 magnets throughout there. I bought this used and it was defected. This does not happen in all the grinders. It's because the magnets were recessed in there so it would not stick. So I basically heated it up and the magnets came out a little bit and I fixed it that way. But magnetic cup tray, so this stays on there super well. I have had no issues or no fear of this falling off while grinding, and it comes off pretty darn well. And the one thing I don't like about this is it is hard to get all the grounds out. The grounds are stuck in the walls there and it doesn't come off very, very easily. And one of the things I never thought about with this is, most of you probably know that I use a flare. This goes straight perfectly when dosing into the flare. And that is the Flare Pro 2 basket, and this is the classic flare basket. Both funnels work great, and this works really well. However, if you're into traditional espresso, most people will have maybe a little lip of a funnel on there that's made out of metal. This is magnetic. So it sticks inside the portafilter basket, which is a problem. And yeah, that was very, very frustrating when I've been pulling shots with my Rancilio Silvia. That's a 58 millimeter basket. Overall, I think this grinder does a good job. One of the big issues that I feel like I've had is the fact that when you load beans, it goes super easily in there. But when you grind, I have had some bounce out happen. And I wish they would have made a little slip-on lid that goes on it so you would not have that problem. It grinds super well. It grinds super easily. It's very, very enjoyable to use. The handle and everything feels well when you grab it. And it's a very, very enjoyable grinder. At $350 though, I wish that it included a lid, and I wish that it included these bands. Would I buy it again? Absolutely. Would I buy it for pour over? I'm not sure, because I haven't really made pour overs with it. When I was looking at purchasing a premium hand grinder, I was looking between this and the Comandante. And when I'm honest with you, I was originally going to get the Comandante, but I found this at a super good price. I was going to buy the Comandante with the red clicks, which I heard does very, very well for pour over. And which does really, really well for pour over and does really, really well for espresso. One of the reasons I'm glad now that I got this is I've always heard this one's more enjoyable to use than a Comandante, and it does grind quicker. And I didn't think that was going to be a problem because I switched from another hand grinder that took a minute. But when you're pulling back-to-back shots and you have people over, I don't find this a pain to use. When I used to have people over, I used to basically make them grind their own beans if they wanted a shot of espresso, because I'd be pulling 5 shots with a manual espresso machine, and that was hard. But with this is like super enjoyable to use. I use this probably about 3 times a day for shots of espresso, and I never get tired of hand grinding. I've been doing this for a month straight so far with this, and it's well worth it. I think it was a great investment. However, I wish it just simply came with the simple lid, and I wish it came with these bands. So I feel like I shouldn't have to spend $10 for a grinder to feel comfortable after the grinder cost $350. But overall, I'm happy with it, and I think it's well worth the investment. I hope this helped you with your decision of potentially picking up a Kinu. I know currently they're kind of hard to get your hands on, as well as any hand grinder in this. This grinder has a lot of, this is made completely out of stainless steel, and there's no plastic or anything. That's why I went with this versus the cheaper ones of the Kinu line. But I hope you found this helpful. Please subscribe and like this video. And if you're looking at picking up a Kinu or any other coffee accessories, please use the link below to help me continue to produce videos. Thanks, and have a good day.